Hello, this is a video from Sheshnag Yoga Center. It's titled Consumerism and Public Relations. The aim of this video is to provide information in the hope that you, as a person, may come to better understand yourself. I will read the notes I have documented because there are a few specific notes and points I would like to include. Of course, feel free to comment or leave feedback, and if you don't understand anything, then email me so we can clarify it. Other videos that may be of some relevance to this topic are the ones titled The Kleshas and the Vrittis, so feel free to view them when they're uploaded. Following my observation and experiences, I've come to realize that my mind is constantly being bombarded with misinformation. I decided to research this and can now appreciate that there is an attempt to hypnotize me so that I think and behave in a certain way. Some people out there may think that I am out there, perhaps even crazy. I will take that as a compliment and welcome anyone to challenge me on a psychological or spiritual basis. I researched the creation of the consumer psyche and have found some very interesting facts. Firstly, I came across stories regarding the experiences of both the employers and employees that built the Panama Canal. Secondly, I downloaded some podcasts relating to social control and the documentary The Century of the Self. The story of the canal, as I understand it, is something like this. The contractors building the Panama Canal found that since they were paying the Panamanians a lot more than the average wage, the workers would work hard for a certain period of time and then leave. Retention of staff was difficult and retraining staff became costly. There was a decision by management to include in the pay packets each week a detailed catalogue from a reputable department store, which showed many items that could be purchased. The items, of course, were not necessary, but focused on the innate desires of the workers. Rather than fulfill their needs, the workers soon utilized their money to fulfill sensual desires, as well as provide themselves with the basic needs in the form of food and shelter. Soon enough, the workers stopped accumulating enough money to sustain themselves for several years whilst living their previous lifestyle, and continued working in order to buy certain goods that provided them with sensual gratification. This story got me interested in the subject, and I continue to be intrigued by how I personally may be unconsciously motivated along the same lines. I listened to the Mystic Mind podcasts and came to appreciate the influence of a man named Edward Bernays. Eddie was the direct descendant and nephew of Sigmund Freud. He utilized the teachings of his uncle that stated how the majority of people, the masses, are predominantly motivated by unconscious desires. Eddie set upon a quest to manipulate the masses by creating within them an emotional attachment to certain businesses and people through rallies and functions that he organized and the way advertising was utilized, especially through the media. He was great in his ability to manipulate the masses and seemed to do it with ease. The primal tendencies were mostly evident in large groups, where the power of the individuals were given to their leader, and their aggression, in the form of libidinous urges, according to Freud, was expressed towards and taken out on anyone outside of the group. This brings to my mind the reality that wars and invasions of other countries and cultures can be appreciated and as an example of this type of behavior and manipulation. Sadly, the dominant emotion that is targeted through such manipulation is fear. Following Eddie's realization that even though people believe they are in control, they are actually motivated by their unconscious desires, which are really in charge. So fear was utilized by him to create manipulation of passive consumers. Originally, the government of President Roosevelt produced films to inform the individual of their choices. The films were, however, no match for Eddie, who promoted the concept of free market utopianism and how it could only be achieved in a democratic, capitalistic society. So he created within people's minds the illusion that they had a free choice, whilst at the same time he was manipulating people through their unconscious desires, which he understood governed their actions. To me, I see this sort of manipulation continuing today on a grand scale. Our minds are perpetually bombarded through advertising in the form of hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming. The media in general has a great ability to still influence the majority of people through fear. Apparently, over 80% of people still believe what the media are telling them. The industry of public relations, which Eddie is called the father of, is more prevalent on the planet today than ever before. If you are still dubious, please sit back and attempt to relax your emotional bond on what you hold to be true, and attempt to objectively appreciate the fact that there has been a culture created where individuals such as yourself identify with those who you are emotionally attached to. This culture at this time is the culture of false gods and false prophets. Relax, I am not a Christian. I personally do not have a religion. Objectively speaking, what I talk about is evident, where the masses can be swayed by the actions of certain governments, companies, actors, sports stars, or anyone else they perceive to be in high regard. I state in my third book in the series of the What on Earth is Kundalini series that the best invasion in history is the one that infiltrated everyone's house. What is it, you ask? The answer is television. The form of media has now changed into the internet. Fortunately for me and many others, the internet is so vast that there is a much wider choice for people in regard to what they choose to be exposed to. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or leave a message in the box down there. Try to be nice or not too harsh, and if you don't understand, then the same deal. I personally hope that this video provides you with the opportunity to better understand yourself and aim towards creating peace of mind in a balanced lifestyle that is suitable for you. Thank you for listening, and peace to everyone.